Hello everyone, welcome to the RISE Digital Business Hub and welcome to the RISE program. Right? In this couple of minutes, we'll go through the details of an introduction to myself, to some of the important links which are required and are important to the RISE program itself. Since we'll be covering this as an overview, you might want to get those details with the respective websites so that you have a detailed purview of what is coming your way. All right. Then we'll go through the RISE program again at an overview level, because the details will follow suit, and they will follow suit rather. We will cover what it will take for an individual to get to that level on the top and be successful. All right. And how we from the RISE program can help you to get there sooner. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, here we go. So first of all, to start with, right, I have experience of about 3 decades, right, in the IT industry and the digital industry per se. I've worked for a lot of Fortune 500 companies, and I have worked for the customers which are Fortune 500 customers themselves. In the process, I've been able to create a few digital assets, provide solutions, both from a technology perspective and a consultative perspective. And now I feel over a period of time that whatever was provided as digital assets for the corporates, right, at certain point of time, can be made easily available for at individual level for people who have the urge and the passion to do so, right? And there's enough technology and computing power available at the hands of the individual who can make this happen, right? So we've created this program from that purview of digitizing, digitalizing, and monetizing basic interests of people and the assets that they can create for wealth creation over a period of time. Right. Now we belong to the the industry, the knowledge industry per se, right, and something called as the creator industry, which has been formulated recently. Now if you see some of the numbers on your right of the screen, this whole global knowledge market is going to be about close to $1 trillion, right? A substantial market. It covers a lot of ground there, and we'll come to it in the subsequent slides. But in the immediate need of activities that will require your purview and your activities through, curtails to about $104 billion worth of the industry that you will cater to start with, right, until at least the RISE 3 level. And then this currently comprises about 50 million creators right now, right, as we speak, because they are creating their digital assets, which will fructify and go to a next level very soon. So the 6 levels of RISE that we have created is encompassing all this and going above the 3rd level, which is currently prevailing, and will meet up the standards of Industry 5.0 and the Web 3.0, right? With that said, right, the RISE Digital Business Hub is basically part of a Soul LLP, right? The Soul consists of other companies as well, but the larger purpose that Soul has come into existence is to do exactly that: create digital assets through and help people create digital assets and rise to the level where they can monetize it and use it for future wealth activities, right? Because an asset is a reusable property, right, which can be used in typical wealth creation activities, hence asset. Now, with that said, there are a couple of links that you might want to go through, right? My personal link, you will understand the kind of work I've been doing, my background, what I've been up to recently, and what all has been creating, right? You'll see certain of the books that I've written and some of the bestsellers that have come into play, okay? And then you'll go through the details of Soul LLP, right? And Soul, incidentally, is an acronym for CSIM Opportunities Unlimited. And LLP is a formulated business kind of model that we are creating to create partners out of this system, right, who understands our system of RISE and have shown enough urge and passion to create those assets for themselves, and in the process have reached the level 6, right, which we call the monk mode. And if they do so, they qualify for them to become, and if they want to, as part of the LLP. Right? Hence, we've not gone for a private limited or limited company. We're creating an LLP so that we have enough partners and have that global reach that we're looking for. So that's the solllp.com that you'll see the message through. And the RISE Digital Hub is Digital Business Hub actually. We didn't want to make it long, so we cut it short to RISE Digital Hub. Will comprise of the educational material and the experiences that can go through for people to rise up to that level that we're looking at, right? Those 6 steps. So let me quickly introduce you to the RISEUP framework, all right? Okay. You see that the foundational grounds of having the right goals, the right mindset, and the habits of formulating those habits of creating such assets and growing with them so that they can empower those services to the others and render their services, which we can also call sales, to other activity, to other people and their activities, so that they can prosper as well as they are as you would, right? So it requires things like having passion and the knowledge and have a very determined purpose with the skill set, right? The rest is experience and hard work, etc., which we provide. Okay, so those are the foundational grounds of getting into the RISE program. Okay. Now these are soft ones that come into play. The hard ones is where we come into existence to make that happen for you. So having said that, the larger program deals with the RISEUP framework, which is nothing but an acronym for result planning, the ones in orange that you see, innovate and create, sales and marketing, which we are terming as blitzscaling, and there is a larger activity when we call something at blitzscale, and we'll introduce that at the RISE 3 level. Then it results into using various digital platforms out there for income growth, right? Because by this time, if somebody's reached level 3, level 4 is all about managing the wealth that is getting created, okay? Because the compounding will really happen from there, and that's where the wealth really multiplies. Okay, so you don't have to work towards the wealth is getting compounded at the rate that you want to, at the pace that you want to. Okay, of course, the economical formulations and other factors will come into play when we go into details on something called the money spinning formula. With that, at that certain level, when things have stabilized and you've started to accrue your wealth from a compounding perspective, the next level will be to diversify, right? To grow from there. And that's where the whole consulting elements of activities come to play, right? Where you in your field will become a consultant who will move towards a pioneering ground for creating and helping other customers, could be corporates, could be your individual P2P customers. Incidentally, P2P is going to be the future, by the way. And help them also take the path that you have, using this framework, creating your own frameworks or whatever has best worked for you, and take it to the next level for them, right? Once you do that, you have a certain community that comes into existence, and once you might be able to create your own innovative ideas and cultivate them in your field and become a pioneer there. And that's what becomes a qualification for you for becoming a monk, right? So if you see on the right hand side, if you could, right, there is the whole membership program for these, the RISE steps, right, from 1 to 6. It goes from silver to platinum, then there's quantum, and then it goes into the monk mode, right? Monk is a little hidden, but that you probably can understand, right? So that's the topmost level. And if you get a chance to read the book, I've written a book called Changelization, which is all about change management in the new digital era, using Industry 5.0 and 3.0. You will understand what monk is, right? It's again an acronym, and we'll go through it over when we reach the program of change management, right? And that is the purpose that the monks would create. Now, if you see the slanting leeway side of yours, you see a life, we see life, strive and thrive, right? So what we feel and we've seen over a period of time is that there is a period until the blitzscaling activity happens. It takes about 90 days for somebody to adhere their skills to in the field and the passion that they want to. That takes them another 90 days, right, to come to a point of striving, right? So when you're living, right, you now want to take the next jump, which is about striving, right? So it's a ready, steady, go kind of thing. So when you're striving, you are now multiplying your wealth and you're getting into the next level to be ready to become among the topmost level. That means a pioneer in your field, right? That takes about 6 months time until you do so, or a little more than that sometimes, depending on the individual. But this is the best case scenario. And then once you reach the topmost level, right, it opens doors for a lot of other things, right? There are industry forums, the CIIs, the Forbes listings, and so various other things that come into existence, right? And we cover them at the right time. So that's when you actually hit the topmost shelf for yourself, where then you create your innovations for next level of growth. Okay, so I hope this gives you a little inkling of what we will get into, because there are much deeper steps to each of these, right? And we'll go through them. I'll quickly let you know what is required for somebody to get to the topmost level, right? So what we've seen is, right, there's always three things. There's some things that you have, some things that you know, right, and something that you can learn, right? These are typical security formulas, right? If you have been to digital security and other factors, these are basically the three things. Some things that you have, right, that is something you can remember, something that you know, that you can relate to, and something that you can learn. That means what happens in front of you. That gives you a digital key for you to access and become have a smart token which lets you into the security system. So this similar guidelines we've seen works as a success formula for something like this. Okay. Now, something that you have in this case is the passion of doing certain things, right? Some of you guys might be yoga experts, some guys, would be in the IT field and doing something very specific to maybe, as I mentioned, security, or might be in the cloud field, or somebody who is very good in application making, or somebody who's good at retail, right? And he has a passion of opening a retail store, somebody who wants to open a restaurant. There could be so many things out there. Somebody has a passion to do something, right? So that passion also is liked by some of the people, right, who might not know how to go about it. Now, suppose you have the passion to do this, and then you have the skill, right? And passion would also mean that you want to become a millionaire or a trillionaire or whatever that could be, right? Followed by is the skill, right? You have some basic skills. Now, the skill would endure you to get to that level of using your passion to monetize. Okay. So as I mentioned, right, somebody who wants to get into the restaurant world and is passionate about running it through, right? You might have the skills of cooking food, or maybe serving better, or having good public relationships, or managing hotels, or whatever that could be. Now, the two combinations without the education typically is incomplete. Right? Why? Because passion, if it is not monetized, then it's a hobby, right? Skills, if it's not used, it is underutilized. Okay? So when you mix the two and you have the education to get to that next level, that you use your passion and skill to scale up to the level that you want to, right? That is the purpose of RISE. And these three success formulations are required for somebody to get there. Right? So we provide that education and the experience to people like us, right? But the working hard element and working smartly at that is where again the soft skills that come from you. So passion, skill, and then the working hard element is what comes into play. But when you're passionate about something, the working hard automatically happens, right? So that's what has been seen. The smartness is what we can probably feed into because of the experience that we have, right? So as a simple thumb rule, we've seen 80% of passion, right, plus some ball of 10% of clarity. Okay, passion makes 80%, clarity makes 10%. The rest is all about getting that experience and working smartly and hard at the same time with that education to get to that topmost level, right? So people fall short on that. typically, if they have the first two. So I hope you have the first two, and let us help you to get to that education and experience, right? To help you work smart towards your goal, right? On that note, I hope this was giving you a sense of what is coming your way, because the following days will be a little more extraneous and a little more in depth, where you will have to be focused. But this gives you an overview of what the RISE kind of framework is, what sort of qualities one should have, and have the mindset to go there. Okay, so in the next one, we'll prepare you for the mindset, right, and get you to a point where you have a one-pager clarity of what your intentions are, right? You might want to take a screenshot of this, and this gives you a little bit about the digital business kind of hub that we've created, and what its purpose is, what I just explained to you, right from a level of niche to the gaps that we're going to fill in. Okay, something more than what I can't explain right now. So with that, let me take you to the next day, right? And I hope you enjoy the entire journey while you're doing this, and create and see you at the top, so that we find the like-minded people there. Okay, bye, take care.